Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets just as usual, looking at the Bitcoin price and looking at the Bitcoin price for the next 10 years. Looking at the lowest price and the highest price and how I came to that as well. Is it going to be true? Who knows? Who knows? And we're looking at a couple of news stories as well as chatting to you guys as well. If there's anybody on today, I know it's coming up for Christmas, everybody's kind of chilling out and getting ready for Christmas as well. There's not as many people on, but we'll see if anybody comes in the house as well and be chatting to you as well. Excuse me. Still getting over this flu thing. It didn't lie down to it at all, but my voice did go, but it's coming back now. It's getting much stronger today, which is good. Right, I'm going to see if anybody is in, see if we've got anybody live. Yeah, I've got one or two people in, which is brilliant. So I'm just going to dive over there just now. Get the glasses on. And see who we've got in the house. We have G-Slick is in the house. Welcome to you, G-Slick. And we have Mike D, one of our Brown admins, is in the house as well. Welcome to you. As I said, didn't really expect a lot of people in today, but we'll crack on as well. Just means we'll have a wee more intimate conversation. AGI will look at the charts as well. G-Slick. Okay, we'll just see what's happening in the marketplace just now. We have an overall market capitalization of $191 billion, which is up, which is good. Good to see as well. Bitcoin price 7,203. It's not that at the moment, so we'll check the price as an aggregated price, obviously. So who's the winners and losers? We have Luna is up to 21%, Matic Network up 17%. Lots of news kind of published by them yesterday. Crypterium up 16%. Tomo Chain is doing brilliantly over the last couple of weeks. Steam is up 11%. FTX token is up 11%. This is kind of Binance. We're in there as well. IOST is up 10% as well. KuCoin shares has gone back up as well. See who's the losers. Not that much. We've got Educare, Sealy, Electronium, Tezos, Centrality down, but not by that much at all. So probably got about 20% in the red, just, and 80% in the green. Okay, see the biggest winners and losers. That will go to rankings. Excuse me. Global digital content is up 248% on 500,000 volume, which is good volume. Orchid is up 105%. Peer Play is up 89%. Six is up 45% as well. Entanmo 45%. Ad Token 35%. See who's over the last 7 days. BitBlock still good. Ad Token, Peer Plays, Midas Touch, Global Digital Content as well. So have a look at Global Digital. GDC. What we're doing here, still looking for hidden gems. 4.5 million, that would be classed in the market cap under 5 million. We've got a circulating supply of about 50%. It's up and down just now. Just came on to coin market cap. There's market pairs. Coinbene, don't trust them at all. That's a no-goer. But it says 500,000 volume. I'm just going to say adjusted volume, see if it's any different. It's still the same. Okay, so nothing much really happening there. I don't like it. These just the kind of gainers and losers. I preferred it when we could view every single one of them, and we looked at traded over $10,000 and looked at it that way. But it just takes too long to kind of do that now. We'll go to view all. That takes ages to kind of load, and only then it's the top 200, I believe. Yeah, and you have to kind of load more and keep on doing that for the 5,000 tokens out there, which means you have to kind of click on it 25 times. So we've got 4,956. So, but what I'll do next time I'm on, is I'll just do that. I'll just click it and just do the load more and keep on loading more and more and more, and then just get the highest prices from there. That's where we find the hidden gems. What else we'll look at as well, excuse me, is recently added. We're looking for market caps. and we'll go to, so all these ones don't have market caps yet. Well, they do have market caps, they just don't have a circulating supply in coin market caps. So these are the ones that have just been added, and the ones with the low market caps. Dollar International, and just look at some of the, so hash share is 2.1 million, circulating supply is 68, but the volume is 209,000, which is good. That's what we're kind of looking for as well. Troy, we've seen that as well, obviously on Binance. Lucky 7, 16 million market cap already, so we're looking for the hidden gems there. So it'd be good if CoinMarketCap didn't list until they actually had a circulating supply. This is a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. But that's one way to, another way to look at it is to look at the new ones just come on. Crypto bubbles, where are we? This is over the last 24 hours in USD, Tomo, Luna, Matic, Mana, FTT, Steam, IOST. So the IEOs are coming back up again on Binance, or the Binance IEOs are coming back up again. And we'll look at USD, we'll look at Satoshi value, nothing much changed, so that shows you the kind of price is stable. And we'll look at the last hour, see if that changes things. Zen is up, Stratus is back up again, Energy is back up, Mana, Mona, Doge, or Doge down. Satoshi value doesn't really change that much, so price is stable across the board for Satoshi and dollar value. Fear and greed index, we're sitting at 23, we're at 21 yesterday, so coming up a wee bit, but we're still at the extreme fear stage, which is a stage we kind of want to be at, because when people are fearful, that's when you start to look for opportunities as well. Okay, this is the sentiment across Twitter, and this is positive words used when talking about Bitcoin, or negative words. Bitcoin sentiment up to 70.76, Litecoin is up to 67.99, XRP down to 45, Binance down to 41, Ethereum 47, Tezos down to 42 as well. Look at some coins, just refresh that. See what's doing well with relative trading volume and daily sentiment. USDC, don't need that, stable. Bitcoin, relative trading volume is up. Sentiment is up as well, so sentiment is good on Bitcoin just now. Navcoin, and that's up 20% already, so. But had we spotted this earlier, we could have gotten the rise for Navcoin. Ethereum is up 16% already, but the relative trading volume is not really there. So nothing much happening there either, unfortunately. It might be slow. Okay, anybody else in? Mark Innes has joined us. Welcome to you. Gordy Boy has joined us. Tim Gash is in the house. Mike Dakin, remember to crush the likes on the way out, please. Thanks very much, Mike. And just make sure everything's okay. Yep, got a good connection. And 13 people watching. If you're watching just now, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments area where in the world you're from, if you're watching at the moment. Okay, what I'm going to show you just now is an article I wrote for Uptrend, and there's a link for Uptrend down below. That's getting bigger and bigger, Uptrend all the time, and it's got a token as well. It's a new social media platform for crypto at the moment, but it's going to be for other things as well. And I've been using it every day for the last kind of 3 weeks or something, and it's doing okay. It's doing okay. So I wrote an article yesterday, and it said the lowest and highest prices for Bitcoin for the next 10 years. So what I've done for the price of Bitcoin, I've showed you this before. This is the monthly, whereby we're looking at this support line for the monthly. It happens on a weekly as well, on the daily as well. So if we go down to weekly, we'll see there's even more touch points on a weekly. You can see down here, this is the last of the touch points. It's come down here for the touch points as well, very recently. And then back in 2016, 2017, 2015, all the way down to 2013. So really for the last, coming up for 7 years, it's stayed true, the structure has stayed true for the Bitcoin price, the lowest prices to hit this support line. It's kind of gone under it, it's wicked under it a wee bit, sometimes on a weekly, and obviously on the daily as well. It stayed under it for a couple of days, but no more than a couple of days. and this is where I was going for. When I was talking about the price going back up again, you can see it wicked down to 6,400-ish or 6,450, and then came back up in line with this. So this seems to be the bottom. If it fell below that, then we'd have to look at a different structure, but it's held this for around about 7 years now. So what I was saying in the article on Uptrend is if you knew the price of Bitcoin, back in, say, 2013, it wouldn't have had a structure back then. It really wouldn't have had a structure back then. So the kind of structure would have started around about 2015. This kind of whole support line might have started around about 2015. It'd have been its kind of second or third touch point here. And we said to you, okay, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up exponentially and it's going to follow this line. Even if we just kind of started from here at $240 and put it back, there's a couple of touch points there that you could have had to start this support line, but it's not as strong as it is just now. But if we said to you, okay, it's going to be $240, but in the next 5 years, these are the prices, these are the lowest prices it's going to hit, and these are the highest prices it's going to hit. So if I said to you at the end of 2019, Bitcoin is going to be $4,000, even back then, when it was $240, you probably wouldn't have believed me, and a lot of people probably would have said it. If we said the highest price was going to be 20,000, you just said that no way is that going to happen. There's just no way it's going to happen, and you wouldn't have been able to see that at all. And same here, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying most people wouldn't have been able to see it, because that would have been an 8,000% rise. So you're talking about put $1 into Bitcoin, you get $80 back. Or 1,000 and 80,000 back. So that's kind of what it was like back then as well, but we're in a similar situation just now as well. So going back to this article, what I've done is I've looked at this and looked at all the kind of these bubbles here as the end of the year kind of prices for the lowest price and the highest price, with these prices projected into the future. So we've got 2021 all the way up to the end of 2029. That's what I've done. I've just kind of projected it and put all these bubbles on. Now, am I right? Who knows what's going to be right? Who knows what the price of Bitcoin is going to be in 10 years' time? Nobody knows at all. We can only project, but we've looked at this and we've seen, okay, this is held for the last 7 years. This support line is held for the last 7 years, possibly longer than that. It just from here, 2011 to 2013 is kind of where it didn't play in this support line. But other than that, it's kind of held for the last 7 years. So we can look at this and kind of with some confidence and say this could be the bottom for Bitcoin. This is going to be the bottom price. So if we look at it for the next 10 years and say, okay, the lowest price of Bitcoin is going to be at the end of this year, 7,174. At the end of 2020, 15,000. 2021, 35,000. 2022, 79,000. All the way up to 2029, where it's $21 million. 10 years from today. And the price of Bitcoin, the lowest price could be $21 million. Highest price, $96 million for the price of Bitcoin. Now, you probably thinking about that and going, there's no way that is going to happen. No way it's going to get to $21 million in 10 years, and that being the lowest price. But if you firmly believe that, or if you firmly believed in just said, okay, I accept that that is going to be the price, you would start buying Bitcoin just now, or you start buying more Bitcoin just now, as much as possible, or put it into your pension if you had kind of that as well, or just doing as much as possible. And by the end of 2029, if you had one Bitcoin, you'd still be a millionaire. Even by the end of 2025, you'd be a millionaire if you held one Bitcoin. And still got to remember, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin in the world, and the population of the world is probably going to go up by then to about 8 billion, probably more. So 8 billion people with only 21 million Bitcoin tokens, if Bitcoin is really going to become the dominant currency. And I still think it is. And there's lots of reasons why I think it will become the dominant currency around the world. the dollar is going to lose its place, and it's going to lose its place quite quickly, I feel, because of America has put all these sanctions on different countries. Just now, they're just going to get so pissed off that they're just going to say, okay, enough of relying on the kind of American dollar, enough of relying on America. We're going to go for Bitcoin, or we're going to bring out our own digital currency. I think that's what's happening. Iran are talking about it for a Muslim coin as well, and that's in the news, one of the news stories today. There's so much happening in the world just now that indicates that America is going to totally lose its dominance. And I'm not saying that to kind of scare anybody. I'm just saying it's going to lose its currency kind of dominance and its dominance, its kind of hold it's got over the world as well, with regards to kind of finances and everything as well, which is not going to be good for America or Europe. But we'll just need to wait and see kind of what happens with that. But I think that is one of the reasons it's going to come in. And we're already seeing the institutions are really starting to come in big for Bitcoin as well. We've seen, there's a couple of reports come out over the last couple of days as well. Backed has gone up to its highest price, or its highest daily kind of inflow of $50 million. And we've also seen it on Grayscale as well. And I'll show you a report on that as well, that the institutions are coming into Grayscale. It's had one of its best quarters in Q3 so far. So the money is coming in. And I think we're going to be in for a bull run in 2020. Tim Draper's talking about the end of 2020, Bitcoin could be $250,000. 2020, I've got the highest price, $180,000 for the end of 2020 there. So could it be right? This incredulity that we have about Bitcoin going up to 200,000 or a million, that was the incredulity that people had back in 2015 as well, when Bitcoin price was $240 and it fell from $1,000. So think about that. It's just something to think about. Think long term instead of these kind of looking at the minutiae that's happening just now and just saying this is the price of Bitcoin. It's not going to go any higher than 6,000. Oh, it's going to fall to 1,000. Just ignore it and just keep buying, I would say, Bitcoin and just looking at the Bitcoin price. Just saying this is going to be the dominant currency. Other currencies are going to survive, I feel. There's going to be lots of other currencies survive, but we don't need 7,000 cryptocurrencies. We don't need it. Most of them are shit. They are. They're shit coins, for want of a better word, and they're going to disappear. A lot of them are going to disappear. 2020 is going to be the time we really just do a kind of sweep the decks of all the crap that's out there and just get rid of them, or just stop trading them altogether and really focus on the good ones, with Bitcoin still being the number one. So it'd be good to get to know your thoughts on that as well. But these are the prices, I think. It's just a guideline, obviously. It's just a guideline to look at and just to say these are the prices it could be. These are the lowest prices that Bitcoin is going to go to. It just changes your mindset with things because, as I said, nobody really knows what's going to happen with the price of Bitcoin. So why not focus on something and just take a stand and just say, okay, I'm just going to focus on that model and then look at it. And then when that model fails, we'll have to look at something else. But I think with this, you could literally just buy Bitcoin and just walk away for the next couple of years and still be in a good position. Peggy Johnson is back with us. Good to see you here. Poseidon 70BTC, it's good to see you here as well. I haven't seen you for a while. Reverend Skidmore is in the house. Mike D, happy Black Eye Friday to everyone. Black Eye Friday. A Black Eye Friday? What's that about? Reverend Skidmore, Mike D, Black Eye Friday. That's what McDonald's were doing, a bacon McNutton and Kicking Royale. XRP is acting weird. Know anything about it? Don't know anything about XRP, but we'll look at the charts as well. Are you staying with BTC and SIP or having some Ethereum as well? I've got some Ethereum just now, Mike. I'm still trying to transfer over the other one as well. I've got another last one. It's kind of a bigger one actually. I didn't realise it was quite as big. But I'm trying to transfer that over. I'll probably be putting most of it into Bitcoin, but we'll be transferring a good whack into Ethereum as well. Axel is in the house as well. Good morning to you. Okay, we'll look at some of the coins on Binance. Just now, go over to Binance. Pearl is coming back up, thank goodness. So the IEOs are coming back up. So Matic, it went much lower than I thought it was going to go. but it's starting to come back up now. So they seem to have hit a bottom there at 174, but I did say 276 could be the price it could go back up, but it just kept on going down and down and down, as did all the others as well. But they're coming back up today, so I don't know if that's going to lead to a rally over the weekend. Dusk is up as well, 14%. Very slow. Yes, that was a kind of double bottom for Dusk. It's coming back up. Navcoin is back up again after its meteoric rise as well. We've seen it going up to 3,000, coming back down again, and that's starting to move again as well. OST is doing well, 13%. Mana, 11%. One, another IEO up. Where was that? Where did that go down to? 61 with a low being 54. So these could come back up again big time. Tomo is doing brilliant. Yeah, Tomo's still doing fantastic. It's never really, it's just went against the markets and done its own thing. So Tomo Chain is doing fantastic. FTT, another one, is going back up as well. Pero is the other one that's gone up 300. I'm still holding Pero for the trading coin, but down a fair wee bit on that, to be honest. I think I got in at 376. Okay, we'll look at the Bitcoin chart, 7,134. So still holding this line. This is a weekly. We're still holding this support line just, but we've seen it back in the beginning of the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. We've seen it kind of bounce off this level multiple times, but it's still held support and bounced back up all the way to 14,000 from the 3,000 level. So we could get something similar here. So for the next few weeks, could go up. We're going to get higher lows, and that's what we want to see happening. The higher lows, and then we'll just take off in 2020. Could be after the halving. We don't know when it's going to happen, but I feel that's kind of what's going to happen for the next few weeks and the next few months as well. But we'll wait and see. It did wick down to, I did say 6,450, and that's fine for the wicks, but we need the closing, especially on the weekly. I think the weekly is a strong one, and we need the closing to be above this line to hold its structure and to keep on going up from here as well. So middle of March could be up to 9,000 at its lowest price. There's some spikes as well. Look at XRP, how are they doing? We looked at it yesterday. It wasn't doing so well at all. Yeah, 2,608. So we do have kind of bottom here, as I said, about 2,500. Let's put that up there. There's about 2,500. That's going to be the bottom. That's a big fall for XRP. And this is on the weekly as well. A big fall of 15%, and it's fallen it already. So we're kind of hitting a double bottom. We're coming up for a double bottom here for XRP. I didn't really have a double bottom there. So it's not history repeating itself, but 2,500, if that price doesn't hold, then we're going down possibly 2,000 and 1,500 for XRP. I don't think it'll get that low, but I didn't think it would get this low, to be honest. So we need to bounce off here, and we need to bounce quite hard for this trend to kind of reverse, because you can see from the beginning of the year it's been all downhill for XRP just now. Do I think for the long term it's going to stay there? No, definitely not. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't think. I think it's going to be an explosion. It's going to be a huge explosion when it happens, and the further it goes down, the bigger the explosion is going to be for XRP as well. And we have Skidmore, Steve, could you get a wee look at Cardano? Got a bit boring lately. It has got a bit boring. I know I thought XRP has been weird. It has been kind of really weird just now, XRP. But it'd be accumulation zone, but it has to hold that this 2,500 or bounce off this level for anything to happen for XRP. But it's coming. I genuinely believe it's coming. 100% believe that the XRP explosion is coming, and it's going to be big, I feel. And I think the other thing just now, for anybody looking to get into XRP, I think the risk to reward ratio is much better. The lower it goes down, the risk to reward ratio gets much better. Excuse me. Yeah, the risk to reward ratio gets much better, and the lower it goes down. So it looks even kind of juicier here. What's it on the daily? Yep. So 2,500, as I said, would be the bottom. If it fell below that, then you're looking at 2,000 and then 1,500 Satoshi. So it could do that, but it just looks even better for when it does go. I think some people will be waiting on it going down and down and down before they get in, and then I think it's going to go big time. Cardano was the other one. That was doing well for a bit, but then it came back down again. Still trading within this range. Shown this range for a while now. Probably lower than that. Closing price. So in this range since August. Now it's not really breaking out of the range. It tried to break out here, didn't quite manage it. I got up to 561. It's back down again to 463 again, another long-term one that I wouldn't be concerned about. But it's not looking like a buy. There's no buy-in at the moment for Cardano. What's the 4 hourly? Yeah, it's not good at the moment. So we could come back down to 400 for Cardano before it bounces back up again. But for long term, I wouldn't be concerned too much. Wouldn't be concerned too much unless you kind of bought in here at 1900s and even above that at 4,000. I'm just going to go to the market caps of these. Cardano down to 14 now. It's under a billion, 862 million. We'll go to Ethereum as well. We've looked at Ethereum and Litecoin, but we'll go to Ethereum Litecoin. Same again. Going to happen. Looks looking for a double bounce. Round about 160,000, 164,000 level. If it goes below that, then you're talking down to 150, then down to 120. It becomes even more attractive to buy. Same with Ethereum as well. That's Ethereum. That's almost right. Did I do that first? I was looking at Litecoin. It's meant to be. Looking at Ethereum first of all. Litecoin, yeah. So it's fallen down this support line, which is not good. Look, we need a bounce back up above this support line. It's down at 558,000 just now, which is not good. LTC, BTC, and we're going to go to Poloniex. So that's the local support. Where are we below that? We're kind of talking a free fall. No, it's not looking good for the big ones just now. It's just not looking well at all. And it has spiked down to that level before, but just not looking good at the moment for the big guns. We have Dhipaya is in the house. ShareRing is the only crypto worth investing in. eTheta, a good project, but still a long way for it to come to fruition. ShareRing, really love ShareRing. We know I've kind of spoke about that. I've done the interview with Tim Bos as well. They're 42.43 just now, so I think that's a good price to get into for ShareRing. And they're going to be announcing more things today, I believe. So they had the kind of partnership with Dhipaya, the biggest non-life insurance company in Thailand. And I think ShareRing are going to do well, and that's a hidden gem. Is it classed as a hidden gem now? There's about 6 million market cap, so I'd still say it was a hidden gem just now. So yeah, really like ShareRing just now. Crypto Dread is in the house. Welcome to you. Mike, the XRP is as confusing as Punday was with regard to price and use case. Yeah, it is really, because Punday X, we all know, we were in it kind of last year big time with Punday X. We thought it's making money, it's got products out there, it's getting partnerships, it was doing brilliantly, they were building the base, the foundation, they had everything going for it. Price was going down, 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 and it's still going down just now. So I just gave up on Punday X. I just could not fathom it out. XRP, because it's much bigger, a much bigger scale, XRP is kind of doing the same, defying logic just now with regards to the kind of price movement and with regards to the structure and the base and foundation that they're building just now. Is defying kind of logic as to why the price is going down, but it could be a good thing in the long run if you're looking to get in at the moment. Tony P is in the house. Welcome to you. Crypto Dread, the use case in both are pretty straightforward. Price, on the other hand, is a different story. It is totally. Okay, we'll look at some news stories very quickly. And this is one I was talking about. Iran proposes cryptocurrency for Muslim nations to reduce reliance on the US dollar. So the president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, has during an Islamic conference in Malaysia proposed the creation of a cryptocurrency for Muslim nations as an alternative to the US dollar. I don't think that is necessarily a good idea. I think that's going to divide and conquer. If it was to be used, if they were to use Bitcoin, for example, instead, I think that would be much better. Obviously, it'd be much better for us. That's why I'm saying that. I'm biased totally. But I get what they're trying to do here as well, 100%. So there's no reliance on the US dollar, and America can't have this hold over all the other nations in the world. And it's just going to stop that reliance on kind of America as well if they do that. So I totally understand that. Other countries are doing that as well. Russia are looking at that as well. And I think that's the way it should be. Not anti-American, nothing like that at all. All for America, obviously. Brilliant relations with America, and kind of UK, got brilliant relations, but this kind of stronghold they've got as well shouldn't be there. And I think this is where cryptocurrency comes in, this is where blockchain comes in, and so it kind of levels the playing field for everybody as well, and they don't have one reliance, or they don't have an overly reliant on the kind of US dollar. And I think that's what's been happening for years and years and years, and it shouldn't be there. And same with you, it's going to affect UK, it's going to affect Europe, it's going to affect Australia, it's going to affect Canada, it's going to affect everywhere. But it will kind of level things out. And I think this is the way it's going to go. And I think this is the way cryptocurrency is really going to be used as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It might be that they go for Bitcoin, might be that they bring their own Muslim kind of coin out as well. We'll need to wait and see what happens. Ripple CEO predicts the 20 biggest banks will trade crypto in 2020. I don't think this was Brad Garlinghouse from XRP. I don't think he said that. Actually, I think he said 10 of the top 20, or half of the top 20 will be using them. But we'll trade crypto in 2020. Yeah, it'll be trading them. So that's what Brad Garlinghouse says, and they're thinking that 2020 is going to be the year. I think we've got the post here. 2020, the year of the digital asset. And I tend to agree with that. It's going to underpin consumer financial products. I really do agree with that as well. This is where the DeFi space is going to come in big time as well. And I think to get into that space just now with a smaller company could be absolute massive for you as well. But I don't know where it says. CEO Brad Garlinghouse is even bolder, predicting that half of the top 20 biggest banks in the world will actively hold and trade digital assets in 2020. He is also one of many on the team that believes fiat currencies will go digital in the next year. So it's not quite true, that headline there, but he does think half of the banks, which is huge in and of itself. Binance invests in cryptocurrency derivatives exchange FTX. So that's just, I'll kind of post the stories for you underneath as well. And we're going through these quickly. This is one of the big ones as well. Grayscale sees massive Bitcoin inflow, and it means institutions are here. Institutions have long been looked upon by Bitcoin and crypto investors as a mysterious force that would help catalyze the next major bull run. Throughout 2019, however, there was much less brazen institutional involvement than was previously expected, which was greatly disappointed in Battle's investors. In spite of this, a recent report from a digital asset management group elucidates that institutions are in fact flooding into the crypto markets, and this trend is likely to spill over into 2020 and beyond. And this is for Grayscale Bitcoin Investment Trust, sees massive inflows in Q3 2019, which is good for cryptocurrency as a whole as well, and I think we're going to see more and more of that in 2020 as well. Daily Hodl, Bitcoin targeting 250k in less than a year, says billionaire tycoon, and this is Tim Draper again as well. He says, if you run a technical analysis, it looks like it'll be something like 6 months to a year after the halving that we will cross $250,000 per Bitcoin. I can't wait because I'm so frustrated with the banks just taking 2.5% to 4% every time I swipe my credit card. I'm ready for this new currency that's frictionless and open and transparent. So I've been saying that for a while. A lot of people have different opinions obviously as well. A lot of people are saying nothing is going to happen after the halving as well. Why Bitcoin's 2020 halving will catalyze FOMO and large bull run. This is another kind of bullish scenario to look at the Bitcoin halving and what's going to happen after that. So I'll post this down below. And this is from Jason Williams. Bitcoin halving in May 2020 won't do anything to the price. It will be a non-event. So a lot of people kind of split with what's going to happen after the halving as well. But it says math is on the side of the bulls. So we'll, obviously all we can do is just wait and see what happens after the halving. But me personally, I do think we're going to go up. I think we're going to go up big time. And I think it's going to happen within the next couple of years. And this line for me is kind of critical. Looking at this projected line here is critical for me. So it would be kind of fantastic if Bitcoin went to 169 in 2024, 384 in 2025. It would be kind of amazing if that happened. But we can't see it just now, but just keep an eye on what's been happening in the past and just kind of project that into the future as well. Okay, that's the news stories. I was looking at Nexo as well. One of my friends got into Nexo. They got a couple of loans from Nexo because it was 5%, 5.9% loan, which is better than a credit card. So I looked at that again. I've got an account already. I had one for ages ago. Nothing in it though. In fact, I've got notifications there. You can now earn 6.5% on euro risk-free 8 months. That was 8 months ago. So that's how long I've had this Nexo account. Just never done anything with it. But I'm looking at that again. I'm looking at that as a possible kind of buy-in to buy Nexo tokens as well. Because Nexo is only 50 million market cap at the minute, and it's 9 cents just now. And I think this could be amazing for the DeFi space if we look at Nexo as well. So take a wee look at Nexo again, and let me know what you think. Peggy Johnson, thank you very much for the $4.99 donation. Really, really appreciate that. Okay, Dash. We looked at this before, but we'll look at it again. There's no harm in doing it again. Same again. So this is a weekly. You can see Dash BTC, 1 wee second. We'll go to PolyCrash. It actually actually, with Dash, there's a potential double bottom scenario here. Dash, so back in 2015, all the way back to 2015, when Dash was 567,000 Satoshi, we're getting to those levels again. And it could be that once we get to those levels, there's a big bounce from here. In fact, it's looking like, if you look at all the major cryptocurrencies, Dash, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, Cardano, they're all in a similar kind of situation. So they could all kind of explode at the same time. Which would be that would be fireworks indeed if that did happen. But Dash looks like we could have a double bottom scenario. So I would say for Dash, round about these levels, round about the 550,000 Satoshi level is going to be the bottom for here. If we fall below that, you're kind of in free fall after that. For Dash. So yeah, the 550,000 level would be a very, very telling sign. Risk to reward ratio could be really good here. If you put what we do here, I need to bring that up. Yeah. We bring that up to here. This is on a weekly, remember. And we're going to say for the stop loss 521, so 12% loss potential, and we're looking for this level here. So it's a good risk to reward ratio for Dash at the minute. You've got 4.13 just to get to the next resistance level here, or the recent resistance level, and then even higher obviously if you're looking at the next resistance level. So that'd be a risk to reward ratio of 17.55. So in actual fact, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Dash, all these kind of big ones, you're looking at a good risk to reward ratio there. But Dash in particular looks good as well from that point of view. But if it falls below that, you need to put that stop loss in, because if it falls below that, you're looking at a free fall. Peggy Johnson, you're welcome. Appreciate your information. My pleasure, Peggy, and thanks again. Really appreciate that. Tell. We need to go to charts for that. Let's see how they're doing. Let's see them doing about 14 million at the minute. So we'll go to the chart, see if it's coming up. Tail, BTC, and I'll go to CoinMarketCap. Right, this is on the daily. Doing well over the last couple of days. It's bucking the trend. We had a double bottom there as well. You see, put in your basics. Always do your, I'm going to put that there. So you can see there, kind of hit the bottom here, around about the 4 Satoshi level, came up to 5. Well, it's not really, we're going to have to go into ETH to get a good picture. Tail, Ethereum. And I'm going to put it there. That's a potential double bottom there as well in the Ethereum value. So we're talking about 166 way back in July 2019, and then it bounced off that, came down to that again and bounced off. That was a double bottom there as well. So the double bottoms are doing well. And we're up to 294, so it's doing well at the minute. So next levels we're looking at for resistance. It's kind of gone through a couple already. We're probably talking if you want to go on the weekly. Right, so we can see the the levels here much more clearly. So 318, I will push that up to about 327. That's not that far to go. Then you're probably looking at about 378. Next level there, and up. I'm probably talking about here for the recent ones, 523. So it could do quite well. So it's up 64% already over the last few weeks, which is done brilliantly. So that's good, but it does look good at the minute. And it's coming up for a crossover on the weekly as well, which is not done for a while. And Telcoin Dent, I just don't know what's going on with Dent, but I've never looked at them for a while. Dent will go Ethereum as well. Yeesh. So I've looked at this already and looked at the levels. Yeah. So again, we've got a double bottom all the way from 2017. So we kind of looked at that and said, okay, 105 Gwei is going to be the bottom already, and we've looked at the support lines and the resistance lines there as well, but that was back when it was down here. So it doesn't look too hot now, because then it's still too low. The risk to reward ratio for Dent just now is not that great at the moment. It's come down from where it was, but we've got a support line there around about the 105 area, but still I just wouldn't touch Dent just now, but I just don't understand why the price is going down. It's only one of a couple that I don't understand. Dent and PundiX, for example. XRP is totally different because I've got so much going on. I just know it's going to explode, but with Dent and PundiX I just don't know what's going to happen. Can you post a BTC projection in the group, please, Steve? Yeah, I will do. I think I put that post in actually. Put it in the group just now. In fact, I'll do it later after, like you said, Mike. But I thought I'd done that yesterday. Or maybe I've done that on Twitter, maybe that's probably what I've done. But I will do that. Lawrence Matthews is in. Good morning to you. Gary Permenta just lost $9 margin trading LTC. Then decided to ignore the FUD surrounding that stone Ethereum. So far it has not moved. Yeah, we'll need to wait and see kind of what happens with that as well. 105 million I believe it was for that. Right, so we'll just go back to the BTC chart. BTC USD. See if it's moving at all. 7,148. So predictions for over the weekend. Obviously we don't know. For me, I'm still bullish. I've been bullish for a while. I've said kind of the other day when it was down at 6,450, I said, okay, it's going to jump back up into this area. It did. And what do I think is going to happen now? I still think we're going to go higher. We're going to get to 7,500, then on up to the 8,000, possibly come back down, and then just keep on going slow and steadily up from there. And 2020, I think, is going to be an explosive kind of year, but we said that about 2019 as well. So we need to wait and see what happens. But for the weekend, I think we're going to go up. I'd be very disappointed if it kind of went down below the 6,800 level. We're coming up for this weekly as well. When does that close? That closes on the 23rd, so Sunday night. So if this closes above, I'll be even more bullish on Sunday night. If it closes above this line, I'll be even more bullish as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me. I didn't think a lot of people would be joining me today, just because Christmas holidays and the apathy in the markets and stuff like that as well. I'll be looking at the charts. Again, I've not done a lot of predictions. I've not made a lot of calls for December at all, to be honest. So I'll be looking at the charts again because it looks as if the alts are coming back. So there's going to be opportunities there. So I'll look at that as well. And I'll still be in the groups over the weekends and I'll leading up to Christmas as well. Okay, that's it for just now. Thank you very much for joining me. And I will see you probably Monday. Probably will see you Monday. Or I might do a recorded video on Monday and just put it out. I'm just going to test a few things. But whatever you're doing, if I don't see you kind of live, have a brilliant Christmas, have a brilliant New Year because I'll be taking some time off. If I don't see you, but hopefully I'm going to see you on Monday. but have a brilliant one anyway, whatever you're doing, and I will see you when I see you, but I'll let you know what's happening anyway. Join the free group if you've not listed, if you've not joined us already in the free group, and premium group is opening up again next year, and we'll get more people in there as well. It'll be quite cool. Okay, until next time, namaste, take care, bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.